I let my mother move into our home after her stroke. I cooked, cleaned, bathed her. When I lost my job, I asked her to help with groceries using her disability money. Instead, she called my sister and said I was abusing her. I was removed from my own home by police. As they drove me away, my mother just smiled and whispered, "Now you know how it feels." What I did next broke our family forever. My name's Rob, and I live, or used to live, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm not the type to tell strangers my personal business, but this isn't something I can keep inside anymore. Maybe it'll help someone else see the red flags I ignored. It started in March 2023 when I got the call. My mother had suffered a stroke. I hadn't spoken to her much over the years, not since I moved out at 18. She wasn't the easiest woman to be around. Cold. Controlling. The kind of person who made you feel like a burden even when you were trying your best. Still, she was my mother. She was in the hospital in Rocky Mount. I drove the 2 hours to see her. She couldn't walk without help. Her speech was slurred. Her house was in no condition to accommodate her recovery. And my sister Megan, who lived 20 minutes away, claimed she was too busy with her kids to take her in. Tasha, my wife, didn't love the idea. She remembered how my mom had treated us back when we were just dating. But I begged. I told her it was temporary. Just until she gets her strength back, I said. We cleared out the guest room. I built a ramp at the front steps. Tasha set up a daily medication schedule. We were ready. At first, it was okay. She needed help bathing, dressing, moving from room to room. I did all of that. I wiped her down, changed her clothes, brought meals to her bedside. Tasha helped too, but she had to focus on her bookkeeping clients to keep us afloat. It didn't take long before my mom's comments started. Snide little jabs. This house smells like mildew. Tasha never did know how to cook meat right. Marcus needs to lose weight, he's looking sloppy. I bit my tongue. A few months in, things got tighter. The auto shop where I'd worked for 8 years shut down out of nowhere. The owner had been behind on rent. One day we came in and the doors were locked. I had no savings. No warning. We went from comfortable to barely scraping by overnight. Tasha picked up more freelance work, but it wasn't enough. I was applying everywhere, hardware stores, warehouse gigs, even landscaping, but no bites. We were falling behind on bills. That's when I asked my mom to help with groceries. Just groceries. She got $1,200 a month from disability. We didn't want rent. We didn't want control. Just some help with food. She stared at me like I'd asked for her blood. I didn't raise you to be a beggar, she said. You didn't raise me at all, I snapped back. That night was quiet. Too quiet. I figured it was over. I had no idea what she was planning. 3 days later, I came back from dropping off job applications to see 2 police cars in front of my house. I thought maybe someone had broken in. Nope. They were there for me. They said they received a report, elder abuse. Said I'd been withholding food. Neglecting her hygiene. Even threatening her. I thought they had the wrong address. I laughed. Until I saw her. My mother was standing in the doorway. Wrapped in a shawl. Crying. Holding her side like she was in pain. She looked frail. Scared. She said nothing, but her eyes were wide and wet. Ma'am, one of the officers said, "Is this the man you reported?" She nodded slowly. I froze. I looked at Tasha. She was trying to talk to the other cop, saying it had to be a mistake. That she was here every day, that I never laid a hand on her. That we were the ones caring for her. They said it didn't matter. That protocol required them to remove me from the house while social services investigated. I was still in shock when they put me in the back of the cruiser. As they drove away, I turned my head and looked out the window. My mother was standing on the porch. The second cop was inside talking to Tasha. My mother leaned forward, close enough that only I could see her face clearly. She smiled. Not a big one. Just a small, smug curl of her lips. Then she mouthed, "Now you know how it feels." That's when I realized, this wasn't about groceries. This was about control. This was revenge for every time I ever stood up to her, every moment I refused to play her game. She had taken me in when I was a child and used me as her emotional punching bag. When I left and built my own life, she never forgave me for it. Now she had taken it all back with one phone call. They let me stay at a local shelter for 3 nights. After that, I moved into a cheap motel out by Bragg Boulevard. Tasha would sneak me clothes and snacks when she could, but she was scared. If she pushed too hard, my mom would accuse her too. And with CPS snooping around because Marcus was in the house, we had to be careful. I was livid. Humiliated. My son didn't understand what was going on. My wife was walking on eggshells. And my own mother was sleeping in my bed while I was eating vending machine sandwiches. But I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I started planning. My mom wanted to play victim. I'd show her what real consequences looked like. The first thing I did was call my sister, Megan. I wasn't expecting her to help me, I just wanted to know how deep this went. She picked up on the second ring. Sounded smug, like she'd been waiting for me to call. "So, I guess Mom told you," she said. "Told me what?" I asked. "That she's living here now. With me." That hit me like a truck. "What the hell are you talking about?" "She's in my house." She laughed. "Not anymore. Tasha kicked her out yesterday. Said it was too much. So Mom called me. I picked her up this morning." I couldn't believe it. My own wife, who said she'd stick by me, threw my mother out, and didn't tell me. And now Megan, who refused to help when Mom was in the hospital, was suddenly playing hero. It didn't make sense. Until Megan added, "She told me what you did. That you threatened her. That you were just waiting for her to die so you could take her money." That was the moment it all clicked. This wasn't just Mom going off the rails. This was something deeper. She'd been feeding Megan lies. Probably for months. Twisting things, dropping little poison seeds, turning her against me while smiling to my face. And Megan? She ate it up. I hung up on her. Then I called Tasha. She answered after 5 rings. Quiet, nervous. "I didn't want to tell you like this," she said. "But after the cops took you, your mom started saying stuff about you hitting her. And about me. About Marcus. I didn't feel safe." "You didn't feel safe?" I said. "After everything we did for her." She said if I didn't kick her out, she'd call CPS. Say we left Marcus alone at night. Say you were violent with him too. I couldn't risk it, Rob. Not with our son. I didn't know what to say. I wanted to scream. But I couldn't blame her. My mother was like smoke. Slipping through cracks, choking you before you even saw her coming. I hung up again. But I didn't cry. Instead, I went to work. I knew my mother. I knew her better than anyone. And I knew her one weakness, her pride. She couldn't shut up. She had to talk. Had to be seen as right, even if it meant telling on herself. So I started talking to people. Friends. Old coworkers. Even some of her former neighbors from Rocky Mount. I told them everything that happened, but more importantly, I listened. One guy, Tommy, used to live 2 doors down from her, told me something that made my blood run cold. She said you beat her when you were a kid, he said. Said you threatened her with a knife once. I didn't believe it, man. You were like, what, 12? I never did any of that. Not even close. She'd been laying the groundwork for this for years. Telling people I was dangerous. Unstable. Violent. Planting stories. It wasn't about groceries. It was never about groceries. This was her long game. A slow-motion ambush. And now she was staying with Megan, spinning more lies, maybe planning to report me again. But I still had one thing she didn't know. Proof. I had months of texts from her. Messages where she insulted me, cursed at me, even joked about getting rid of Tasha. I had photos of the meals I brought her. A spreadsheet of her medications I managed every single day. And, most importantly, I had an old phone of Marcus's with a recording from the day she whispered, "Now you know how it feels." He'd been filming a TikTok in the living room. She didn't know the camera caught her face. Her voice. Her smile. I sent everything to a lawyer friend of mine, Doug, who owed me a favor. You have enough here for a defamation suit, he said. And possibly fraud, depending on how far she went. That's when I decided. I wasn't going to get angry. I was going to get even. Doug helped me file an injunction first, a formal request for access to my home, based on evidence that I had been falsely accused. It was risky. If it got denied, I could end up making things worse. But I was done playing nice. 3 days later, I got the call. A judge reviewed our materials and ordered an emergency hearing. Tasha and Marcus were both subpoenaed to appear, and so was my mother. That morning in court, she came in a wheelchair, wrapped in a shawl like she was freezing. Megan was right beside her, acting like a damn nurse. I sat on the other side of the room with Doug and tried not to stare at either of them. The judge asked for opening statements. Doug kept it simple, just asked that the court hear the recordings and review the evidence. Then the judge asked my mom if she wanted to respond. She cleared her throat, leaned forward dramatically, and started with, "Your Honor, I have feared for my life under my son's care." And right then, something shifted. Marcus stood up. He didn't wait for anyone to ask him anything. He just said, "That's a lie." I heard her. I have it on my phone. She smiled when Dad was taken away. She said, "Now you know how it feels." I was there. She wasn't scared. She was proud. The room went dead silent. My mother turned her head toward him. And for a split second, her mask slipped. She looked furious. Not scared. Not hurt. Just angry. Tasha broke down crying. In that moment, I realized she didn't know. She hadn't heard the full recording. She'd only seen the part where I was taken away. She thought maybe my mom was exaggerating, but now, she saw it. All of it. The judge ordered a recess. During the break, Megan stormed over to me in the hallway. "You happy now?" she hissed. "You humiliated her." "She humiliated herself," I said. "She's sick. She's a liar. And you let her move into your house, Megan. She'll burn it down like she did mine." She shook her head and walked off. But here's where it got messy. Doug pulled me aside and said, "I looked deeper into her finances. Your mom's not just on disability. She's getting an extra $600 a month in state assistance. Someone's been filing home care invoices using your name." "What?" I said. "She's been claiming that she's paying you to be her caregiver, and cashing the checks herself." My heart stopped. That meant she wasn't just lying to the family. She was committing fraud. Real, criminal fraud. And if she did it under my name, then she'd left a trail. A big one. Doug filed another motion. This time, we weren't just seeking to clear my name, we were asking for a full financial audit. The court assigned an investigator. And in 2 weeks, everything started unraveling. She had been collecting payments for over 8 months. Falsified invoices. Forged signatures. All under my name. But the kicker? She had also listed Megan as a backup caregiver. Which meant Megan was either complicit, or really, really stupid. When the investigators confronted Megan, she folded fast. Claimed she didn't know. Said Mom told her it was just paperwork. The moment Megan realized she could go down for fraud too, she flipped. She turned over bank records, emails, even text messages. And that's when the biggest twist came out. One message from my mom to Megan said, and I quote, "If we play this right, we can get the house once Rob snaps." They had a plan. They wanted to push me to the edge. Get me out. And take over. The only reason it didn't work. Marcus. That video saved me. And damn them. The investigators' report hit like a grenade. Fraud, forgery, elder abuse. But this time committed by my mother, not against her. And Megan? She was tied right into it. She couldn't deny the messages. The paper trail. The money. We all ended up back in court 3 weeks later. My mother sat there in the same wheelchair, same blanket, but this time, there was no pity in the room. The judge didn't even let her fake cry. They played the video from Marcus. They showed the forged documents. They read the texts out loud. And then, something happened I didn't expect. My mom finally spoke the truth. "I just wanted to be taken care of," she said, flatly. "That's all. I gave up everything for these kids, and what did I get? Nothing. I deserved something back." The judge stared at her. "You don't get to lie and steal to get what you think you deserve," he said. "Especially from your own son." Then he turned to me. "Mr. Connors, you are free of all charges. Your name is cleared. You're also entitled to seek damages, and based on this fraud, you may file for ownership of any property involved." Doug nudged me. "We can go for the house," he whispered. "You'll win." But I shook my head. I didn't want the house anymore. Not after what happened inside it. I didn't want anything she touched. "I just want them gone," I said. Megan lost her job at the dental clinic when the fraud became public. Word spread fast in a small town. Her husband left her 2 months later and took their 2 kids. I heard she's renting a trailer now, drinking too much, blaming the world. My mom. She was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest and forced to pay restitution. She lost her disability benefits for lying. No one visits her anymore. Not even Megan. The last I heard, she was trying to get into an assisted living facility in Greenville. Good luck with that. Tasha and I had a long talk. A lot of talks. We nearly split over what happened. I told her the truth, I felt betrayed. That she didn't stand up for me when it mattered most. But she was honest too. She said she panicked. She was scared. And she made a mistake. We went to counseling. We're still working through it. But we're stronger now. More honest. No more secrets. Marcus? He's my hero. Without that video, I might have ended up in jail. I tell him that all the time. He just shrugs and says, "I knew she was lying, Dad." As for me, I didn't press charges beyond the fraud. I didn't need to. Watching my mother destroy every single bridge she had, one lie at a time, was revenge enough. She wanted to teach me a lesson. She wanted me to feel powerless, like she did once. Well, she got what she wanted. Now she knows how it feels. Forever.